Guys, here's a little sneak peek of the car before we get into the video. Just hang tight, you'll see all the details. All right, guys, I have a car in the shop today that I normally don't have in the shop because these cars are extremely difficult to find in really good condition. So this video is about a 2006 E320 CDI. And the reason I picked up this car, I've been looking for a good CDI for a couple of years, but this has the OM648 inline 6-cylinder diesel engine, and it is pre all the emissions crap. It doesn't have, you don't have to put the Blue Def exhaust fluid in there. And it's one of the most powerful, most awesome inline 6 diesels Mercedes made. It has like 370 foot-pounds of torque. And you can get upwards of, if you hypermile it, you can get like 800 miles per tank. So it's just a phenomenal engine. And the car only has 102,000 miles on it. It's black. It's a one-owner car. It was owned by a lady named Helen, and she had the car in North Carolina, and it was serviced at the dealership from day one. I called my buddy at the Mercedes dealership, and I had him run the internal VMI report to pull all the service records for the vehicle, and we were both blown away. So this video is a little all over the place. It shows me doing the service on the vehicle, some detailing on the vehicle, and a test drive getting as high as 40 miles per gallon. So it'll be a long video, just kind of stick with it. This is a badass car. I've got about 100 miles on it so far, but check out these service records. This is for internal use only. Of course, it tells the options and whatnot up here about the vehicle, but here we go. Let's see. There we go. So here's the most recent service, was December 2021, and they had a B service. So that's a very in-depth service of the vehicle. Here's everything that was done. Here's the date, and here's the mileage when it was done. And then we go back. Now we're back to 2020, and there's 5 pages of Mercedes service records on this vehicle. And you can see everything over here that was done. Again, the dates and the mileage. I'll just slowly go through this. It is like some of the best service history I've ever seen on a vehicle. And it really shows in the car too. It's already had the glow plugs done. And you guys are going to see in the video too, I actually have the Mercedes diagnostic software installed on my laptop right here. And I have the Mercedes multiplexer that hooks up to the car, so I can run the dealer diagnostic software. So I've also gone through the vehicle, and I show that in the video of me testing and checking for any fault codes. And yeah, this car is just immaculate. Now we're back to like 2009, 2008. Anyway, 5 pages of service records. So stay tuned. This is kind of a long video. You see me doing all kinds of work on it. And then eventually I get to the test drive. So I hope you guys enjoy this. All right, guys. Here we have this 06 E320 CDI up on the lift. And I have to remove some belly pans here, but I'm just checking. Look at that. Ball joints still good and intact. That is awesome. Let's check the other side. Oh yeah, very nice. Let's look at the exhaust. Exhaust looks fantastic. Man, this car is so clean. It is so hard to find. It's harder to find these cars than it is to find these low mileage 300Ds and 126s and coupes. These E320 CDIs with low mileage, you know, 100,000 miles, are unicorns. Oh yeah, these tie rods back here. I mean, the trailing arms back here are great. Suspension, I mean, the boots, axle boots are still intact. Awesome. Diff bushing still looks great. Sway bar end links. Look at these beefy sway bar end links on this car. Big steel rod. On the 300D, it's that little plastic bracket, but here it's a big beefy steel rod. Man, it looks fantastic back here. The exhaust, not even a speck of rust on the exhaust. Just looking up under here, super clean. Let's go look under the front bumper, and then we're going to remove this belly pan because we're going to do an oil change. All right, we actually have to remove it to look under that bumper, but all the pans are still intact. Look at that. This car has been completely protected, and the dealer service history is 5 pages long. I've never seen an internal VMI report as good as on this car. They were having the A and B service done exactly as specified by Mercedes. Everything, glow plugs, everything's been taken care of on this car. The last service was 2021, and it had the B service, which is like the premium service where they go through everything. And it actually says 15 days until the next B service on the computer. So it doesn't say B service, but until the next service. So I'm going to actually do that service now, then reset the computer code to set it back to 0 again, so it'll tell us when the next service is. So let's get these belly pans off and take a look under here. All right, to remove these the pan to change the oil, it is a bunch of little 8mm. All right, guys, let's take a look under here. Look how clean this is. A little bit of debris right there. We'll just wipe that off. This is amazing. That hose looks like it's been replaced. The boots on the steering rack, excellent condition. Wow, look at this. It still has the little like insulation piece around the oil pan. Look at that. This car is in amazing condition. I think there's our drain plug right there. Wow, look at that exhaust. Guys, this is what an 06 CDI looks like when every single service has been done at the dealer. You even see up there, see how clean it is up in there? No oil leaks anywhere. Look at that transmission and transmission pan. This is one of the best examples I have ever seen. Look at the size of this sway bar on this thing. Look at the size of that. That's like a sway bar you see. I ran one like that big on my race car. Look at the sway bar end link here. Giant. There we go. Look at the upper control arm. Boot still intact. There we go. Still intact. Outstanding condition. See our starter right there. Look how clean the starter is. Wow, still has the Mercedes sticker. You can see it right there, the Mercedes sticker on the transmission mount. The flex disc, awesome condition. See how clean it is up there in the transmission? This is just an outstanding example of a '06 E320 CDI. It was owned by an older lady. Her name was Helen. And Helen took it to the dealer a couple of times a year. All right, let's go ahead and drain this oil. Let's get that drain plug out of there. Before we pop that oil drain plug, I'm going to remove the cap of the oil filter. But I already removed the engine cover. And guys, I wanted to show you how clean this CDI is. Get around here. Look at how clean all these I haven't detailed this engine or anything. I wouldn't be surprised if those injector seats had already been recut and addressed, you know, because I'll have to go back through the service records. Got a little dust right there, but that's about it. There you go. That is one of the cleanest. That is the cleanest CDI I've ever seen. Just wait till I detail this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and there's all your injector hard lines. Gosh, that looks so nice. So I haven't detailed it, but I will detail the engine compartment. Let me go ahead and get this oil filter cap off. Okay guys, to get the oil filter cap off, Performance Tools sells a 74 millimeter by 14 flutes, and that is the correct one for this oil cap. All right, now that I got the cap off, I'm going to raise the car, pull the drain plug. Okay, while we're waiting on our oil to drain, we're going to use a MAN filter. MAN is excellent. And the MAN filter comes with 3 O-rings. I'll show you where they go. So let's get this filter off of here. Okay, you'll see we have 1 O-ring right here. So we're going to get that guy off of there. And then the other one is right here at the tip. So we'll get that O-ring off of here. There we go. And then the final one is right down here at the base, or it's actually at the top of the filter cap. So we'll get that guy off of here. And then we want to go ahead and lube those up with some oil and put them back on here. Guys, in the CDI, this is good stuff. You can use Mobil 1 European blend. You can use the Rotella T6 synthetic diesel engine oil. This is also good stuff. So let's go ahead. I like Rotella. I just use it in all the vehicles. So let's go ahead and put some on these O-rings. There we go. There we go. Once we get all our O-rings in place, we'll go ahead and put our filter on there. All right, there we go. So on the drain plug too, it's important you put on a new crush washer. Sometimes you can get away with reusing one like once, you know, if it's an emergency, but you really need to replace this crush washer every time. So all right, we've got our belly pans back up there, got our drain plug back in. All the belly pans are secure. Let's go ahead and lower this thing, get some oil in it. As I was saying, you don't have to crank this down. The O-ring you put on there does all the sealing work for you. So, just snug it up. There we go. That's it. Let's take a look at our power steering fluid while we're up here. Wow, that stuff is fresh. There you go. Let's see if you can see it there. Turn on the light. There you go. That is very fresh power steering fluid. See that? So that's still good. Let's take a look at the brake fluid. According to the VMI report, this was just changed recently at the last service. Oh yeah, you can see how, there you go. See how clear? Let's see if I can get the light. There you go. Can you see? There you go. See how clear that brake fluid is? It's not dirty at all. So the next thing we're going to do, get this thing back under there. That was always a strange design, I thought, how they do these little skirts, these little flaps like that. Very weird. What we want to do next is the fuel filter. It's very important to change these. I don't know, you can probably change this once a year. It'll tell you when you hook up a computer to it if it needs to be changed. But let's go ahead and pop off these hoses and get this filter out. Of course, we want to go ahead and pour in our oil first. And guys, this takes almost the exact same amount of oil as the old 300Ds and the 126s. I think it's like 7.7 quarts. It's almost 2 gallons, so it takes almost 2 of those jugs. And when you can turn the car off, once you fill it, turn the car off, go through your menu, and you can go to the oil level display, and it'll show you exactly how much oil is in the car. All right guys, next on the service, I've got the oil change done. You can see I've popped off the send and return line for the main fuel filter. Spilled a little right there. And you just loosen this little number 5 Allen, and that loosens that up. And what you end up with, here's the fuel filter. Now I've removed, this is your water separator. This is the plug that plugs into it. So you remove that by taking out 2 little screws. There they are. And you pull this guy out. And then you got to replace these O-rings. Here's the replacement man filter right here. And it comes with the O-rings. So we're going to replace those O-rings, pop that guy back in here, and then put our little screws through there to hold it in place. Okay, we have put a little screws back in here, and man also supplies another, I think this is like a bleeder, air bleeder tube. Yeah, they supply another one of those because there's a little O-ring right there at the end of it. So they also give you one of those. So we'll just take this over here and pop it back in here like that. And we'll take our covers off in a second. Anyway, pop those off, put our fuel lines back on, redo our 5mm, and we are all set. All right, guys, we got this thing all buttoned back up. Put the engine cover back on. Looks great in here. This thing was just so meticulously maintained. Okay guys, just to finish up the service on this vehicle before we take it out for a test drive, I want to show you the Mercedes diagnostic software. All right, guys, what I have here is the Mercedes. That's the dealer multiplexer, and I have it hooked into the ODB2 port, and that's an Ethernet cable I have running out of the car into the Mercedes DOS diagnostic system. This is what the dealers use. And I just ran a quick check on the car, and over here we see the ECU, the component, and you can see we have a check mark on every single system. Sorry for the glare, but if we go down these systems, we can see all the different subsystems. There's the doors, the battery, the telephone aid, navigation system, battery. The big ones to watch out for on these cars that you want to look for. Oh, there it is. Just passed it. There it is. The SBC, Centronic Brake Control System. That has a warranty replacement up to 2030. This one is working 100%. Check mark. No faults. And the electronic stability control module, that's working 100%. So we have every single subsystem has been tested. I also put the car up on the lift, checked all the wheel speed sensors, checked the brake pedal, brake light switch actuator. Those are common faults. Actuated the valves in the braking system. I did everything through the computer program, and it's all checked out, and this car is 100% ready to go. Guys, here we are burning the midnight oil on this beautiful E320 CDI. I'm going over the whole car, buffing and polishing. You can see I have polish all over the trunk right now. And Ernie is actually refinishing the steering wheel. It had a little bit of wear on the steering wheel. Look at that. He's re-dyeing the steering wheel. And there was a little wear mark in the armrest right there. So we replaced a fixed, well, it's not there anymore, so you can't see it. But there was a little wear mark right in there. And Ernie patched that up, and that steering wheel should be done in a minute. And it's gonna look brand new again. And I've already finished buffing the hood. That came out incredible. And I also want to put some new wheel center caps on here just for the final touch. Where are they? I went to Mercedes today. Here we go. I bought some real Mercedes, you know, there we go, center caps for that car, because there's a little bit of wear on the center caps. And so when we're done with this, it's gonna look as good as new. Guys, the shop is filthy right now. There's projects going on everywhere. I need to clean up, but got done buffing and polishing. This hood looks freaking fantastic. And Ernie, who is my interior guy, came over tonight and refinished the steering wheel, because the steering wheel had a little bit of wear right along the top, and it looks brand new. Sanded it all down, re-dyed it. It looks awesome. Also, there was a little wear mark right here from where the previous driver had been resting their elbow for, 100,000 miles. And Ernie smoothed that out, repaired it, and is even able to grab the pattern and make the same exact pattern. So it looks awesome. And we've got a little crack right here. That is driving me crazy. So I searched and found a Mercedes piece, the exact same piece, and I've ordered that. It's going to be here Saturday, and so I'll get to replace this piece, and that will be crack free. I just love this CDI. Look how that paint came out. I clay barred it. clay barred it and buff and polished it with polishing compound. I'm so happy how that came out. All right, guys, here we are out on our test drive. So I've gone 24 miles and I'm averaging 30 miles to the gallon, and that's driving in the city, driving on the interstate, normal driving all over Atlanta. I've been 27 miles on this test drive, and so now I'm just on the home stretch back to the shop. And guys, this car is incredible. The E320 CDI has so much power compared to even the 9899 OM606 turbo, and especially if you go back to the classic Mercedes, which I still love, they're still my favorite, but there's just the evolution of the inline diesel by Mercedes from the 617, you know, up to the OM648, which is in this car, is just shocking. I mean, the acceleration, check this out. I mean, it is just, I gotta stop, there's traffic in front of me, but did you guys see that acceleration? It's just, it slings you back in your seat. It is so powerful. I think they have around 370 foot-pounds of torque. And let's turn on our blinker here and get over a lane. 370 foot-pounds of torque, and that torque is all in at 2,000 RPMs. So, and it stays in the power band all the way up through the RPMs. It never drops off, and it just continues pulling. Just a remarkable engine. Here, we'll go ahead and put it down right here again. Hang on. All right, ready? Watch the acceleration. Just unbelievable. Holy cow. I wish you guys could experience what I'm feeling, but, and then when you get up to even higher RPMs, it feels like it starts pulling even harder. Just a great car. All right, guys, today we're going to do a miles per gallon test on this 06 E320 CDI. I have to run down to Summit Racing to buy some parts for the Mercedes race car that we're building. So this would be a great opportunity to get it out on the interstate, set the cruise at, I don't know, 72 miles an hour or whatever, and then reset the trip odometer and check the miles per gallon. All right, that is about as good as we can do. I'm cruising at 70, and we've got 38.7 miles per gallon. And I'm sure I could get even better. I could probably hit 40 if I kept it like, that's at 2,000 RPMs. I mean, this is really comfortable cruising speed. But anyway, I'll play around and see how high I can get it. 39.8. Let's see if we can hit 40 miles per gallon. There it is, 40 miles per gallon. That is nuts. All right, there we go. The CDI speaks for itself. We're at 40.3 miles per gallon now, going 60 miles an hour. We're in downtown Atlanta traffic, but that 40.5, it keeps increasing. Wow. Anyway, we'll see you next time, guys. Take care. All right, guys, I'm just gonna pull back in the shop here, and this car has, I think, the P1, the premium package, and we'll show all that stuff in the walk around. But I wanted to show you a feature that I really like that I've never seen on a CDI before. I'm sure you guys have, but I don't see many of these cars. Well, of course, we got the, you know, heated seats, and watch the rear shade back there. That's kind of nice. Let's put that back down. But this is the feature that I really like. So, well, you can see I've got my little Bluetooth module in there. That way I can stream. I just tune into a radio station and stream. But check this out. Put it in park. Press that button, turns the car off. It has remote start. Push button start. Put our foot on the brake. There we go. Fires up. So that's really cool. Anyway, that's it. I'll show y'all more in the walk around of this beautiful 06 E320 CDI. Take care.